Hey YouTube, Mark here. I'm standing in my kitchen ready to make dinner again. Today I'm actually getting a very early start in it because there's a few things I have to do and I want to get it done and prepped. And in fact, you can kind of pre-prep things and stuff like that because this is a casserole dish. So it's pretty much just throw it in a casserole and bake it off. But everything needs to be pre-sliced, pre-cooked, and everything like that. So let's get into what I got going because I got a big mess here on my counter and I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to do. Okay, so like I said, this is a casserole dish, and some of the things that you usually need in a casserole are like a starch, breads, stuff like that, potatoes or whatever. This is a breakfast casserole dish that I'm doing, and we need about 6 cups of day-old, kind of dry bread. And let me tell you, I got a lot of it. So yeah, I mean, I've got hamburger buns, Pillsbury muffins, some wheat sandwich bread. I got some Italian loaf bread. Got a little bit of rye here. I mean, you can literally use just about any bread that you have. Just make sure it's kind of old, dry, not really good for much of anything, and you'll be fine. And we need 6 cups of that, just nicely cut up into good sized cubes. I have a bunch of vegetables. I got some mushrooms here. Got actually another pack here. Got a green and red pepper. Got an onion. And this is about the only thing I actually bought for this dish, just because we've never had it with a butternut squash. So I'm actually going to chop this up and roast it and stuff like that, put it in the casserole, and I think it'll be really good. Other things you can have, zucchini, cauliflower, I mean basically any vegetable you have, but we need 3 cups of vegetables, okay? So I'm going to slice up some mushrooms, I'm going to dice up some of this peppers, and then of course the butternut, and I need 3 cups total after everything's all been cooked, because everything, once it cooks, it kind of shrinks down a little bit. So yeah, keep that in mind too. We also need like 2 cups of cheese. Well, we get shredded cheeses a lot for, putting on a pizza or tacos. Sorry about that noise, that's our refrigerator, it's been doing it forever. So I got some mozzarella cheese here. Got some taco cheese. I actually got 2 bags of Swiss cheese and they're both open. Go figure that. You can also do like Parmesan cheese, you can do Munster cheese, you can do Colby Jack, Pepper Jack, Cheddar. I mean, sky's the limit on the cheese. The only thing I would stay away from would be like the real pungent cheeses, things like the blue cheese, the gorgonzolas, and the stuff like that. Just kind of stay away from those. That would really throw off the flavors of everything in the casserole. And then another option for you too is meat. I actually do have a pound of bacon that I'm going to cook off and get that nice and crispy. We'll crumble it up and add that to the casserole as well. And so yeah, the other things that we're going to need, was it like 8 eggs and a little bit of oil, mainly for the sauteing, but we're going to mix the eggs with milk and make kind of a little bit of a custard to pour into the casserole, and that's what binds everything all together. So let's get into this. I need to chop up some vegetables, cook off a few things, and we can get this casserole ready to go. And like I said, everything can be done ahead of time, however far you want. If you want to cook off your vegetables and have it sitting in the fridge for a couple of days, by all means. If you got some leftover vegetables from a dinner a couple of nights ago, use them, okay? All right, let's get into this. We need to start cutting up some stuff. Just going to kind of chop them up just a little bit. I don't want big slices, I want chunks. It doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be precise or anything like that. that's going to cook down, but that's about 2 cups right there, maybe a cup and a half. All right, I think I'm going to do the red pepper as well. I think I'm going to use the second half of this pepper for some chili. That's pretty good. And now I'm going to cut up this big bad boy. And then what you do is you just kind of slowly slice, and you just get right underneath that skin. So if you don't know how to peel a squash, this is how you peel a squash. Slice all the way down. Alright, now the rest of it I'm going to lay down flat so it's nice and secure. I'm going to slice everything up, probably just halve these, probably quarter that, just to make a nice bite. Just like that. Now I'm not going to throw these in to here. I'm actually going to put these aside because I need to oven roast these. I'm going to saute these. Alright, so that's pretty much the neck. For the rest of the gourd, we're going to slice off the bottom, peel it the same way we did the neck, but this time we got to kind of curve around to get to the bottom. Down through. That's the inside of the gourd. We're going to scrape that out. Just like working on a pumpkin at Halloween. Okay, we're going to finish this up the same way. Just by slicing down through. Then we're going to just start our dicing process. Okay, got the butternut all diced up. I'm going to put on probably 2 or so tablespoons of oil. Mix that in just a wee little bit. Then I'm also going to hit it with a few pinches of kosher salt. Jen's not eating with us, so I don't have to worry about the sodium this time. Toss it all around. And I'm going to put it out onto a baking sheet. Try to get it out onto a single layer, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do it on one sheet, but you know what, it's good enough. Alright, this goes into a 450 degree oven for maybe about an hour. Okay, the butternut squash is in the oven. Let's get these sauteed off. Okay, after just a few minutes, probably about maybe 5 or so, I think it's done. That's good. Okay, got the vegetables all sauteed off, so let's cook off some bacon. Okay, the bacon's all cooked off, the vegetables are all cooked off, the squash is out of the oven. I'm going to start getting ready to assemble everything. I'm going to use pretty much all the bread that's in this bag. It's a hodgepodge of stuff. I see hamburger buns, Pillsbury rolls and stuff like that. But I want to throw in some rye too. A little color difference and a little taste difference as well. Okay guys, got my bread all diced up here, and as you can see, I mean, they're decent size, nothing really huge, nothing really small, but got hamburger buns, hot dog buns, old white bread, the crust from the white bread, the rye bread, and even some Pillsbury buttermilk biscuits. I got some of those in there too, so good mix of different types of breads. I got about maybe 6 cups in here. Alright, so let's see, we got the vegetables done, we got the bacon done, we got the bread all sliced up. Let's measure out our cheese. We need 2 cups of cheese. Alright guys, I'm just going to use these cheeses in these bags here. Got a little mozzarella, taco cheese, Swiss cheese. I'm going to use this taco cheese. It's got some good seasonings already into the cheese. And I think it would be really good in our casserole. So I'm just going to take that right now and just dump it right into the bowl. Alright, I want to put in some mozzarella cheese. Hopefully the casserole doesn't get too stringy. That's almost our 2 cups right there. I think I am going to throw in this little bag here of the Swiss cheese. I'm going to throw that in as well. There, that's good. I would say that's probably close to our 2 cups of cheese. Okay, got my baking pan all greased up and ready to go. Glass, metal, whichever one you want, doesn't matter. But coat it with butter and coat it well, because we're making like a egg-based custard to go into this casserole, and you need some lubrication on there. So I'm going with butter. It just gives me a little more flavor. Hey, check this out. I found it in the freezer. It's a chipotle pepper with adobo sauce. So I'm going to cut that up and put it in my custard. That'll be good. There are some ingredients you can put in your custard. So if you had like a Parmesan cheese or something like that, put it in your custard. You know, it'll flow out and everything. It'll melt within that custard. That'd be a really nice way to do it. If you want to add herbage, add it to your custard. Sun-dried tomatoes, chili peppers like this. You know, things that have been canned or processed in some way that you can just throw it in. Okay, I'm about ready to make my custard. I got that chipotle pepper all diced up and in there. I'm gonna add 8 eggs. Okay, so there's my 8 eggs. I need 3 cups of half and half. And there's 2 cups. And my 3rd cup. Okay, now I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to whisk it all together. Okay, so let's start making this casserole. We're going to do about half the bread. Yeah, I'd say that's about half. We're going to do 3/4 of the cheese. I stuck it in a container, mixed it all up. Okay, yeah, I'd say that's about 3/4. Put in all the vegetables. Trying to spread it around a little bit, so there we go. That looks pretty good. All right, now we're going to put in all the bacon. Now, if you don't want this much, you don't have to do this much. You know, you could limit yourself to maybe a cup and a half of whatever your meat is that you choose, if you even choose a meat. Okay, now I'm going to top that with the rest of the breadcrumbs. Whoops. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, then I'm going to put my custard sauce on there. Okay, and then on that is the last of the cheese. Alright, that looks pretty good. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is cover this with some plastic wrap. Now I'm going to set this in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes. But we're not having it until dinner, and it's only, well, 12:30 in the afternoon. So this is just going to sit in there and just mellow out. All that bread is going to start absorbing that custard mix. So yeah, this ought to be really good. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, you guys, so it's time to start the final process of actually cooking off this casserole. We got to get our oven preheated to 325 degrees. I know that sounds low, but that's the way it's got to go because you want to set that custard pretty good without burning it. So I've got my oven set at 325. Then I'm going to set a timer for 1 hour. And I hope it comes quick because I'm getting hungry. See how easy that pulled out? That's because I buttered the whole thing. But yeah, look at that. Nummy, nummy, nummy. Let's go eat. Oh man, this smells and looks amazing. Then I cut into it in the kitchen and I just got a huge, strong smell of bacon. Mmm. Actually really good. I've never tried it with butternut squash before. That was my first time. And that with the bacon is just amazing. Got a little bit of that stronger rye bread in there too. It's just outstanding, outstanding. Mmm. The custard soaked into the bread. It tightened up, firmed up just like it was supposed to. So yeah, it's holding together really well. It's got a nice soft chew. It's not dry, but it's not super wet and moist either. I've made this before where the custard didn't sit up quite enough, so I've added like another 10 minutes of cooking time, and I think that was perfect. Even that little that chipotle pepper that I found, I can really taste it in there. It's given it a nice little spicy kick, but it's not overpowering, but you can tell it's there. And you know exactly what I'm going to say. You guys have got to try this. This is really good. This is Mark saying thanks again for watching. I will see you on the road, but I got to eat first.